Oh my God, did you guys feel that?
We have seismic activity.
Oh my God, what was that?
And welcome back to the Retro Review. I am the Bearded Geek. Joining me as always is Mikey the Freak,
What's up?
Bebo,
What's up?
Hey!
and Steve. I was going to see how long he was going to stay there. And Steve.
I didn't have my headset in for like that.
Today we are going to be reviewing the movie Tremors, but before we get into it, let's watch the trailer. Okay.
I bet you I can link this
Universal.
movie in one move to Kevin Bacon.
A scorched outpost.
I want me a perfection population 10
Maybe
poster.
that's why Val and
That's
Earl
really big. That's gonna be huge on your wall.
decided to leave
Yeah.
town.
I never made it out of town.
That's Edgar Dean.
Because they chose to leave that city just
The
one
wrong
damn
day
day
to
too
do it.
late.
Jeez. You guys better get the hell out of here. There's a killer on the loose.
Oh,
They're gonna show the whole movie.
seems that way. Oh,
Well,
Boy, $5.
as
Okay.
long as they
Keep your
don't
thoughts
show Victor
pure.
Wong die.
keep your thoughts pure.
Oh, pure as water.
As pure as the water.
They're under the ground.
Y'all seen a naked midget with $100 bill running around here?
But where do they come from? I vote for outer space. No way these
No way these are local boys.
See, they're headed by force.
Right force!
No Richter scale can measure it.
The worst southern accent ever.
No scientist can explain it.
Bert, they're under the ground.
Raven.
You didn't get penetration even with the elephant gun.
That's what she said.
And nobody knows what to call it.
Megaworms or suckers or suckoids. Now this valley is just one long smorgasbord.
Now, it's up to Val and Earl to save the world.
That's one big mother. Who died and made you Einstein?
And they know just what to do
Rock, scissors, paper.
for it.
Damn.
Kevin Bacon, Fred Ward,
What the fuck? They legit are.
Tremors.
That's the end of the movie right there.
It's been
That
out a
was
while.
the end of the movie.
Yeah. Well,
They
it is
played
what
pretty
it
much
is.
the
They've
whole
been
movie in
doing
3
it
minutes.
that long. I've been saying they've only been doing it since Iron Man. They've been doing it since Tremors.
Since Tremors, man. They've been doing it
And
since Tremors.
Lord knows how this movie spawned off like 6 sequels.
7
Yes.
or 8. 7 or 8.
Yeah.
Yeah. Steve, tell us what you thought of the movie Tremors.
Fucking terrible.
Oh man, here we go. Here, hold on. I have to get down to the description. With a running time of 1 hour and 36 minutes, made in 1990.
Too long.
Natives of a small isolated town defend themselves against strange underground creatures which are killing them one by one.
It's directed by Ron Underwood. It's directed by Ron Underwood. As we mentioned, it spawned off several sequels. It was made in 1990. I would have been 7 or 8 years old. Saw it when I was probably 8 or 9 years old because I did not see this movie in the theater. Definitely saw it at home. Oh, but it's a fun one. I very much enjoyed it. Bearded Geek. What about you? What did you think of this movie?
This is actually considered a horror movie, and it is my favorite horror movie.
He said whore.
Horror movie.
I've always liked this movie. I don't know what it is about this movie, but I've always enjoyed this movie. It's definitely not the acting because Kevin Bacon is an overactor in this movie.
Way too much.
Yes.
overacting.
You know, and the zany Reba McEntire, and I can't remember her husband's name. The
Bert?
The dad,
Yeah,
the
Bert.
dad from Family. The dad,
Yes.
the
Dad from Family
Family
Guys.
Ties. Yeah,
Family Ties.
Family Ties. Did you
Yes.
say Family Guys?
He's
Yes, for a second I did.
Yes, the dad from Family Ties. You know, just being their doomsday preppers is basically what they are, and just
Mm.
it's and they're in this in Podunk Town. I do enjoy this movie. It's funny, for what it is. The puppets that they used, I enjoyed. It looked somewhat real. Um, Mikey the Freak, what'd you think of this movie?
This movie was terrible. Um, so for a 1990s movie horror, yeah, I don't know. The overacting was pretty bad. I mean, Kevin Bacon, Fred Ward, it's a pretty good starting cast.
Mhm.
What I thought was always funny is how at the beginning of the movie where they're ready to leave, they're like, "Let's get out of this shithole. Let's go to the next town over." And then they stop and they have a kind heart and see the guy up on the electrical pole.
Edgar.
Edgar,
Yeah.
yeah, whatever. Was like, oh, let me get him down. He just stuck up there and found out he's dead. So that one thing stopped them. They're like, oh shit, let's leave. We're leaving now. And then road construction. It's always something that was stopping them from leaving. And then,
There's only
of
one
course,
road in, one road out. Yeah.
exactly. In the Tremors, they became pretty smart towards the end with, having to stop them in several different ways and learning from their
Point
mistakes.
of order. They're
Yeah.
called graphoids. They're called
Graboids.
Yep.
Graboids.
They're not called tremors. They're
Tremors
called
is what they
graboids.
create.
Yeah, they're called
Trenches.
graboids.
They create trenches.
No, they
Grandpa, what's his nut from Three Ninjas came up with the name. Thank you very much.
Victor Wong.
And from now on, he shall be commonly referred to as Grandpa.
Grandpa, what's his nut?
What's his nut?
Grandpa wants his nuts. Yeah. But yeah, I mean there was interesting parts in there. I did like Reba McEntire's bunker with all the guns on the walls, and like you said, it was a doomsday couple that were ready for everything. Food and water and filtered water and all that stuff, and guns and ammo and everything. So I thought that was kind of funny, but yeah, other than that, it was very hard to grab my attention at that part. But yeah,
Would you say
Bebo.
it was hard to graboid your attention?
Oh,
Gra-
Jesus.
hard to graboid my attention.
Bebo, thoughts on this movie?
I love this movie. I absolutely quote this all the time. Me and my parents will quote this nonstop if you let us.
My parents and I.
Grammar police in the house.
Sorry, sir. Sorry. But no. We will always quote this movie to this day. If we decide that none of us want to do anything, we will rock paper scissors to see who has to do it. But yeah, we quote the shit out of this movie. But I love the movie, and of course, it's not really. It may have been made to be that way, but it's not a horror film. It's a comedy, in my opinion. But
yeah, I don't know how this movie would be considered a horror.
Yeah, especially when I get to my facts later on, and you find out what the original screen name was going to be for this. But
was it Scared Sheetless?
Close second.
The French Monsters.
That would have been better. Trust me. But yeah, no, this is a great movie. I like the cast. I like the ensemble. I loved everything about it.
So, what are some quotable lines from the movie that are like your top two?
Well, I was going to tell you, but you didn't want to discuss the last pick stuff, so
Now, I did notice that the running gag was "Pardon my French."
Yes.
I thought that was kind of a running gag at the towards the end. The girl uses it too. So
IMDb does have this as a comedy horror. So.
IMDb can stick this movie where the sun don't shine. It's a comedy.
All right. Ratings, Steve.
Comedy horror.
What do we have for ratings, sir?
Oh man, this movie is fun and cheesy and campy. For me, it's a solid 7.5.
That's fair.
It's not anywhere near perfection. But it's not.
But it is.
But it is.
But it is. It's in perfection.
It's damn near on top.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can find me on the last podcast you'd want. I think I'm going to just scroll on.
All right, moving on.
Bearded
Oh,
Geek,
geez.
what would you rate this movie as?
Yeah, I think 7.5 is probably where it should fall for me. Love the movie, but it is overacting. It's a bit much. It is a bit isolated. It's not something I would well, I would recommend this, but it's not something I would heavily words
Uh,
are hard, guys. It's not something I would heavily recommend. There we go. Got it out. Mikey the Freak, how about you? Ratings?
yeah. So I'm still going with the consensus. It's probably gonna be in that 7. What's that all about? I'm
What the
giving it
hell?
a 7. Yeah, the overacting kind of does it for me. Kevin Bacon with that
Yeah,
southern accent, it just doesn't fly with me, and the overacting face, like he really gets into his character, I thought was corny as shit. But yeah, man, just the animals. The what do they call it? What do you call them?
graboid.
Graboids.
Graboids.
Yeah, I don't give a shit.
Gonna be Charlie.
Those
Don't give
things,
him a name.
they're just terrible. Yeah,
Yeah,
I didn't like it. I didn't like tons of the movie, but it was one of those movies to where you could sit and watch. And yeah, I would recommend people to watch it,
I think it.
because
I think
it is a cult classic from the 90s
Yeah,
when it calls about horror. I think that when you talk about Tremors, a lot more people have seen it than you think and enjoy it than you think would.
that's true. I think it keeps your
Yeah.
attention pretty much throughout the entire movie. So,
Yeah, because they're like,
um,
how are they going to get away? Now they're on the roof, but
yeah,
they're still now they can just go around and kill the roof. Yeah, throw
yeah,
the lasso with a grenade right in their mouth, and then the last one spits it out, and they're like, oh shit.
Ah!
yeah.
Yeah,
It
so
just
they
it
get
just struck
smarter.
me.
That was
Stampede.
cool. They get
Um,
smarter. They're like, oh shit. Well, if he ate that thing and died, well, I'm not going to eat it and do that. So, but yeah, I'm giving it a solid 7.
that's cool. Bebo, how about you, sir?
I think I'm gonna break the difference a little bit here, and I'm gonna go with an 8.
Alright.
Um,
I still put it at a 7.5 overall. So,
yeah, I'm giving it an 8 strictly. I'm giving it that little extra half point nudge up just for the love I have of the film.
The panty shot, panty shot.
it was the panty shot.
It was
You
the
can
panty
admit
shot.
it. That may
It
be
was
why I
Okay, it
like
was
this
the
movie
panty
so much.
shot. I'm sorry.
It-
But no, it overall. It's a great movie. It's one of my favorite from my childhood. Like I said, me and my parents quote it all the time, and it's something that I know not everybody, and especially Mikey, but it's something I will watch anytime it's on.
no, I get it.
I
So
will
so
never watch it
Bebo
if it's
so
on again.
Bebo, with you and your parents like quoting it all the time, is this a situation where you just like curse and then you look at them and say, "Pardon my French," and then
Yes. I
No,
think
we quote it all the time, but that's not the one we quote. The one that we usually quote. Well, I will tell you the one that I quote the most from this is when they're talking about when they're trying to they're at the table in the store and they're trying to decide what to do, and Val leans over to Earl and says, "That's why Edgar never got off that damn tower." Oh, I'm sorry. That's when it happens on the rocks. When they're stuck on the rocks, he says that with a girl. I say that all the time to my dad when my mom starts yelling at him. I will look at her. Because she'll be saying something and she'll get real mad at him and say something, and she'll kind of leave the room, and I'll just lean over and I'll be like, "That's why Edgar never got off that damn tower." And he busts out, and he'll bust out laughing.
I get it.
So we'll do that. But yeah, I love to quote this movie. I love this movie a lot.
All right. Well, Bebo, how about any fun facts for the movie?
I've got a few here. Like I sort of mentioned earlier, the original name for this movie, I'm so glad they changed it. Saturday Night Live actually forced the movie to change its original name. So Tremors began pre-production with the working title Land Sharks.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. However, upon realizing that SNL had already unleashed a recurring character called Land Shark to spoof Jaws, Wilson and company decided to change the movie's title.
Much better title.
Yes,
that would have been that the first kill would have been like someone in their car, and you just would have. Oh my God! There's no one there.
Land shark.
The second one that I thought was a little funny is that they had to change the original concept art of the grab weights because it was deemed too phallic. Special effects artist Alec Gillis and Tom Woodruff Jr. dropped the idea of a turtle-like neck when somebody alleged that their monster's blubbery folds resembled foreskin. It says that
That would have made the
according to
movie better.
according to
That would have
Gillis,
been terrifying.
producer Gail Ann Hurd said that when we would fax the drawings over, all the women in her office would pass them around and giggle.
She's come a
And
long
you know
way.
what? You know what?
Yeah.
That's because she wasn't in the office with the men, where they were also passing it around and giggling.
Yeah.
The last one here is just a little something about what the movie did to Kevin Bacon. It actually gave him sleepwalking nightmares. He said for years, Bacon considered Tremors a low point in his professional career. I broke down and fell to the sidewalk screaming to my pregnant wife, I can't believe I'm doing a movie about underground worms. He told The Telegraph in 2013. Bacon has since warmed up to the movie, but still remembers having these crazy dreams about monsters while filming, according to Seeking Perfection, the unofficial guide to Tremors. Those nightmares also led to some very bizarre evenings for Bacon's then pregnant wife, Kara Sedgwick. I would pick her up, he said, and sleepwalk and carry her out onto the street. And she'd be like, honey, 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 you're asleep. And I'd say, no, I got to get you out of here. So that caused him
Okay.
some bad little nightmares there, apparently. But I do love the fact that he stated that this was his worst movie ever, and that he said since then has warmed up the movie, considering he was the one who was trying to get a Tremors series.
Revamp.
Yeah.
Tremors series done that was supposed to be a sequel to the original movie.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember that. I wish they would have done that. Yeah.
I was gonna say that. Also, fun fact: you could say pregnant wife in the same sentence. You could also say pregnant cousin, and you would be correct in both statements.
Silence.
Yes. I do. I do not have any movie memorabilia for this. Most of these things are just VHSs and stuff that I really don't want to show.
They didn't make. They didn't make.
Just
Graboid
fucking say you're
plushies.
lazy.
No, not lazy. Not.
Nope.
I looked it up.
They didn't
Steve.
make. They didn't make Graboid plushies.
Mhm.
It's like a big long plushie that's amputated on one end, and the other end is like the.
They should
Looks like a
have.
giant penis.
They should have.
That would have been hilarious. So Tremors has a soundtrack with 43 tracks.
Oh my
If
god.
you go and buy
Good
the
God.
soundtrack, there are 43 tracks. Only one of them is an actual song called "Why Not Tonight." Can you guess who the singer is?
Kevin Bacon.
Reba McEntire.
Oh,
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
that's the
There
other
you
one.
go.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Other than that, it is all scenes in the movie, and it is just one of the tracks is like Ray dies or Roy dies.
I
Like
gotcha.
it's like probably the guy that gets sucked in through the tire. I think that's who it is.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, altogether there are 43 tracks on the soundtrack, and the only one of them is a singing track by Reba McEntire, and that is the soundtrack facts on Tremors. Or should
Awesome.
we say land sharks?
Land
Land
sharks.
sharks.
Mikey the Freak, what do you have for some related
Terrible alcohol.
reels?
Mikey, do you have anything for
what?
related reels?
Tell us.
Not for you. All right. Yeah. So I went with your main characters, of course. Kevin Bacon. Some of my favorite off the wall movies: Hollow Man, Wild Things, Stir of Echoes. This was probably one of my favorite movies that Kevin Bacon was in, and Flatliners.
All right.
Some good movies. I thought
Yeah.
good movies.
I
Ward.
remember
What?
I remember Flatliners with Elliot Page, but I don't remember Kevin Bacon being in that movie.
Yeah, he was in it.
No,
Well,
I'm just kidding. I'm talking about the one they remade in like 2010. Sorry, I'm an asshole.
Oh
Go
no,
ahead.
no, I didn't want to tell. So Fred Ward always plays the dad in like every single movie that he's been in. It seems.
He
Legally
has a real
Blonde.
dad-looking face. He has a real
Right.
dad face.
Always that mature father figure.
Yeah.
He
So,
has
yeah.
that Tommy Lee Jones look of his son just came out of the closet and he's very disappointed.
Very good. But like Legally Blonde, Road Trip, Summer Catch, all with father figures. And then I actually like them if anyone has seen it. Remo Williams.
Nope.
Anybody
Yeah.
seen Remo Williams? Yeah, some of the older ones from the 84, 85, I think it was. Yeah, The Adventure Begins. And then Victor Wong, one of our favorite guys, supporting actors. The Last Emperor, Golden Child, of course, Golden Child,
Of course.
and Big Trouble Little China. So, and that is it for
All right.
related
Excellent.
reels.
Well, as we come to a close, Steve, where can people find you on your podcast?
The last podcast you'd want, that's where you can find me, available for your ears on all major podcast outlets, available for your eyes right here on YouTube. Tip the veal, try the staff. Thanks for coming, and if you didn't, better luck next time.
All right, guys, make sure you do all the YouTuber things. Give us a good old thumbing. Hit that like, subscribe, leave a comment, tell us what you thought of Tremors. Leave a suggestion if you want us to review other movies from the 80s or 90s. I do believe that does it for this episode of Back to the Retro Review. So for Mikey the Freak, Steve, and Bebo, I am the Bearded Geek saying, keep it retro, everybody.
Peace.
See you.
Ah!